Welcome to Intense course on media literacy for students. This is a program that we have started for school students. It's a joint venture of Adamas University, Kolkata and Delhi Metropolitan Education, Noida. This is our CSR initiative, and we have started this for the reason because we all are aware since the time there's an increase in the use of the social media. Then there is a spread of a lot of such disinformation and misinformation, and which ultimately leads to fake news on the social media. And since we are too much involved in the, or rather engrossed in the use of the social media, then all the time we are receiving and forwarding the WhatsApp messages, we are sharing the post on the Facebook. So, and we hardly look into that whether the information that we are spreading is genuine or not, whether it's truthful or not. So this has resulted in a serious issue in our society, and this has reached to such.
Amrish sir, you have muted yourself. There's kindly unmute, sir. Yes.
So this problem has reached to such a magnitude that many times we find that even the mainstream media gets involved in spreading the wrong information. If I don't say it fake, because number of times it happens that either, I mean, maybe the news channels are involved in this deliberately, but sometimes it happens that their sources go wrong and they broadcast certain information assuming that is right. But then obviously we expect that in the case of the mainstream media, they have to have this kind of mechanism wherein this kind of mistakes they don't commit. But as a common person, as a social media user, the same thing happens with us. Sometimes we spread some information even if we are under the impression that it may go wrong, and even if we are also sure that it's a rumor, and we have found many such incidents wherein a number of killings have happened in different parts of the country because people spreaded this fake information, the rumors, which resulted in the mob going frenzy and killing certain people. From Assam to Maharashtra to Palghar, all such incidents we have been seeing. So we have to not get self swayed in such kind of thing. That is one. Also, we have to have the understanding and also the know-how whether the information that we are spreading is correct or not. Now, though it's difficult, it's not impossible. If proper awareness is created among the people, then it can be done. And we also have one session on fact checking that will also further enlighten the participants of this session. This fact checking session is on 22nd, and I must tell you everybody not to miss that session, and that will be taken by Mr. Nimish Kapoor. So we are providing all this know-how to the use to those who are attending this course of ours on media literacy, so that they understand, they have the tools and they can make use of the tools to ensure that the information that they are spreading is correct or not. And simply we should say no to the forwarding messages. Now coming to this whole course that we have designed on media literacy, this has 12 sessions, and every day there is a different session taken by a different resource persons. These resource persons belong to Adabas University, teaching there in the School of Media, Communication and Fashion, and also the resource persons who belong to DME Media School in Delhi Metropolitan Education. Like yesterday's session was taken by our colleagues in Adamas University, by Sonayan Bhattacharji and Shubhrajit Datta. And today's session is being taken by Mr. Pramod Kumar Pandey, who is assistant professor in DME Media School, Delhi Metropolitan Education. And we expect that there has to be participation in all the sessions in terms of the participants asking asking questions. And if I can tell you about the participants, we have participants, most of the participants belonging to two schools. One is Mayur School, Noida, and the other school is Delhi World Public School, Noida Extension. And then few students are there also from other schools and our own students of Delhi Metropolitan Education and Adavas University. And if I can further tell you as to how this whole idea came and how we decided to execute this idea was initially mooted by Professor Ujjwal Chaudhary, who is the Pro Vice Chancellor in Adamas University and who is also the Dean in the School of Media, Communication and Fashion in that university. And then I joined hands with them. I'm Amrish Saxena. I'm Dean in DME Media School. So we both joined hands to launch this program, and all the faculty members of the two institutions, they joined hands. And this is in fact one of its own kind and is the first in the country wherein two educational institutions have joined hands to launch a course that too with a social purpose in mind. And we have two coordinators one from each institution. That is Dr. Asha Singh, who is Associate Professor in the School of Media, Communication and Fashion in Adamas University, and Ms. Yashasrika Yadav, who is Assistant Professor in DME Media School, Delhi Metropolitan Education. So, if I don't know if Dr. Asha Singh is there in the session, or Yashasrika Yadav, you are there in the session? Yashasrika?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I hand it over to you now to take the proceedings further.
Sir, Asha ma'am is going to join us. Usually she does this, but without wasting any time, Pramod sir, please, without any ado, please start.
Thank you very much, Yashasrika ma'am. Am I audible, first of all?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
First of all, I would like to thank Amrish Saxena sir for providing me this opportunity to interact with the students of the two schools that you just mentioned. I was going through the course content and I saw the various lectures that have been delivered to you. Already there has been a lot of talk about the media content. There has also been a lot of talk about the context in which any communication has to take place. I also will be taking the similar topic, but I'll be adding on to some type of media content where I'll be talking about the satire, I'll be talking about hoax, I'll be talking about partisan reporting, and I'll be showing you some examples, and I would want to make it interactive. So if there is anyone who would want to ask something or who would want to add something, I would want the students to, be ready for that. And you can interfere me or you can tell me in between even if I'm saying something. And I also would like to tell you that I will also be speaking in Hindi because that is the language I'm more comfortable with, especially when I'm talking about something that I strongly have opinion about. So I will start off with my presentation. Um, I hope you can see the screen. I've shared the screen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So the topic that I'll be taking today is a different type of content and its context. I'll be talking about satire, I'll be talking about hoax, I'll be talking about errors in reporting, partisan reporting. I'll be talking about some conspiracy theories on social media. Let me just start. So what is content? I know you must have heard this so many times in the previous lectures, but then, in order to create a context for the communication that I'm going to do right now, I need to, come up to the common, understanding. And I want you people to come to a common understanding regarding certain terms that I'll be constantly using in this particular lecture. So content is the material, matter, medium contained within the work that's available for audience. Let me put it in a simpler form. It's everything that you see around on the social media, the photographs that you see on the social media, the text that you see on social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, all those videos that you see. It's all those videos and the musical content that you have probably witnessed, on TikTok before it was banned. So all those things, anything that you see in a newspaper, that's content. The photograph is a content. So all those things taken together would fall under the category of content. So it says content can come in various forms like audio, video, written, can be visual, it can be a photo. Now let me tell you, like ever since we have been studying communication, there are so many people who've taught us. Ambrish Saxena sir is one who has taught us, and he has always said one thing about the content that one medium may replace the other one to some extent, but the content will always remain the king. There will be a medium that will be a modified version of an already existing medium, but content will always remain the king. And I have grown up, literally always hearing that content is the king. But what about the context? I mean, can there be content without the context, or can we simply eliminate or sideline the significance of the context and then only talk about the content? Well, if that would have been the case, then we would not have been holding, this entire, media literacy program, because if content is the only thing that, you can always keep a track on the content, it is actually the context that is more important to watch, that is more important to be taken care of if you are consuming or if you are creating or curating any kind of content. So, let us go to the next slide. Now, this was about content. Okay, it all says that although you have three forms, why are you creating the content? What exactly is the purpose? What sort of outcome are you looking for? With each content piece, there needs to be a context. So now there is another school of thought, एक और ग्रुप है लोगों का जो ये मानता है कि कंटेंट के अलावा एक और चीज है, that is the context. The context is what? Now the context is the positioning of the content, storyline or purpose that provides value to the audience. आप किसी कंटेंट को कहाँ प्लेस करेंगे, किस समय करेंगे, किस इंटेंशन के साथ करेंगे, और वो ऑडियंस को क्या प्रोवाइड कर रहा है? What is it offering to the audience? Is it providing some sort of an information? Is it educating them? Is it done with an intention of changing the way they think? क्या वो किस तरह से सोचते हैं, इसको बदलने के लिए आप कंटेंट प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं? और आप कंटेंट कहाँ प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं? अगर कंटेंट फेसबुक पे कर रहे हैं, और अगर आप कंटेंट को ट्विटर पे कर रहे हैं, अगर आप कंटेंट को किसी के पर्सनल ब्लॉग पे कर रहे हैं, या आप कंटेंट को टिकटॉक पे कर रहे हैं या इंस्टाग्राम पे कर रहे हैं, आप देखेंगे, you will realize that the way you will perceive the content will be absolutely different. Now that is something that I will try and show you with a small example that I tried to create for you people. So now I can say that it's neither the content nor the context that is the king. Simply I have put a cross on this particular alphabet, and you can replace it with either C or you can replace it with an N. So I can say neither content nor context is the king. Both help each other in achieving the desired objectives when taken together. And content isn't the king without the context. So now I'll move ahead. Significance of the context. With distribution of content, there is a value exchange. Just like I said, कि जब आप कोई चीज, कोई content को distribute करते हैं, share करते हैं, there is an exchange of the values. You present valuable content with hopes of a viewer or audience viewing the content for numbers, call to action, and etc. 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 Like हम कोई भी content किसी को जब provide करते हैं, तो there is a desire, there is an objective. वो objective क्या है? Now, if I am presenting this content to you, there is an intention that I want to make you people understand the idea of context. I want you people to be able to comprehend the idea of context, to be able to identify the idea of context. I want you people to be able to imply or probably bring into action this concept called the context in your entire communication. So there is a desire, there is an objective, that I have when I'm presenting it to you. It happens with every kind of content that you see online. आप देखते हैं in your Facebook wall, you see so many content being flashed. You know, you have subscribed to different pages. आपको क्या लगता है? The memes that you get on those Facebook page, on those Twitter pages, and on those Insta pages, आपको क्या लगता है कि that is only to entertain you? A lot of it has a lot of deeper context to it that we are not aware of. So that is what we are going to try and understand in this presentation, which is there's something more to come. However, it says the measuring of success of this exchange is impossible without the context. Like how exactly I said a few minutes back, कि exchange का success context के बिना नहीं हो सकता. Context isn't just about the storyline. It's not just about what is being told. It's also about the intention of the entire content itself. Okay. Now, this is a small example that I wanted to give in order to tell you कि कितना important है content और कितना important context है. So now, if you see this statement, no store is attacked or forced to apologize in Gandhidham, Gujarat. आप लोगों ने अभी हाल में सुना होगा तनिष्क के एक ad से कुछ लोगों की भावनाएं आहत हुई, and there were so many trolls that started attacking on the social media. They started attacking Tanishq, and there was a lot of talk about it. People were not happy, and they started giving it all kind of names. So explanation के तौर पे there was an idea that was being propagated कि किसी भी स्टोर पे ये माना जा रहा था कि गुजरात में गांधीधाम में तनिष्क के एक स्टोर के बाहर कोई भीड़ इकट्ठी हुई और उन्होंने पथराव किया और वहां पे जो उनके जो मैनेजर थे उनको माफी मांगनी पड़ी. सो अब मैं उस पूरे आइडिया से एक छोटी सी लाइन लेता हूँ. नो स्टोर इज अटैक्ड और फोर्स्ड टू अपोलोजाइज इन गांधीधाम, गुजरात. ये कंटेंट है, ठीक है. इसकी कॉन्टेक्स्ट पे हम बाद में आएंगे. दिस इज कंटेंट. नाउ आई विल मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट. It says NDTV and others are on stroll to defame Hindus. अब आप देखिए कि कैसे हमने जब पहला सेंटेंस जब हमने पढ़ा तो it kind of sounded quite neutral to us. ठीक है, there is somebody who is claiming that nobody had to apologize in Gandhidham, Gujarat, and then suddenly there comes a line. It says NDTV and others are on stroll to defame Hindus. तो अब आप बताएं कि क्या आपका ओपिनियन पहले सेंटेंस और दूसरे सेंटेंस के बाद क्या सेम है? I can see some spin. मुझे इसमें कुछ मैनिपुलेशन दिखाई दे रहा है. हो सकता है मैं गलत हूं, but my opinion is now not the same as it was in case of the first statement where it said no store is attacked or forced to apologize in Gandhidham, Gujarat. अब इसके बाद हमने एक लाइन और ऐड करी. They always did. आप देख रहे हैं, suddenly a statement that kind of appeared like a very neutral statement that was probably having some fact or no fact behind that, but suddenly that appears to be a statement that is full of bias, that is full of एक तरीके से इन्होंने sweeping statement दे दिया. They have painted everyone with a single brush. तो यहाँ पे क्या किया? That NDTV always does these things to defame Hindus, and they have always done that. So just imagine कि how as the content started increasing, as the content started changing, the meaning started changing as well. So ये एक example है of how content can change the way you think. Partisan reporting जिसके बारे में हम बाद में बात करेंगे, that is also done in this way. Well, कुछ पार्ट को conceal किया जाता है, कुछ पार्ट को reveal किया जाता है. Some portion of the statement is revealed, some is concealed. It is edited in such a way that you are only shown what you are, what they ought to show you, what they want to show you, because they have an agenda behind. वो हम बाद में बात करेंगे. So, considering that, you can see how the entire content changes, and so does the meaning, and so does your perception of the entire content. Now, I'll give you an example, another example. No store is attacked or forced to apologize in Gandhidham, Gujarat. हमने इसके बारे में बात करी. Imagine this coming from, you seeing this on Times of India. अब क्या assume करेंगे? This is news. ठीक है, Times of India पे अगर आप ये statement देखते हैं, तो आप ये assume करेंगे ये सच हो सकता है, ये झूठ हो सकता है, but ये news है. As of now, this is news because I'm seeing it on Times of India. Suddenly, you see a journalist saying it, तो आप तब भी assume करेंगे this is neutral to some extent. The journalist may be having some information, and he's claiming that no store is attacked or forced to apologize in Gandhidham, Gujarat. And if you see a politician saying it, तो आप कहेंगे ठीक है, it's denial for political damage control or gaining political mileage. Politicians are like that. They would always deny, if there is an allegation, and if the allegation is on the other party, they would always try and enforce it, to gain political mileage. So यहाँ तक ये statement भी बड़ी neutral लग रही थी. As of now, इन 3 sources से अगर आपको ये पता लगता है, तो भी आप ये मानेंगे कि ये it's quite neutral, and when it is about the politician, ये तो उनका रोज का काम है. ठीक है. Now the statement again, अब मैंने इसको बड़ा कर दिया. No store is attacked or forced to apologize in Gandhidham, Gujarat. NDTV and others on stroll to defame Hindus. अब टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया में अगर आप इस चीज को देखेंगे तो आप समझ जाएंगे आपका पूरा ओपिनियन इसको लेके चेंज हो सकता है. यू मे टेक इट एज अ प्रोपेगेंडा अगेंस्ट द अदर न्यूज आउटलेट्स. व्हाई? बिकॉज़ दे हैव यूज्ड द नेम एनडीटीवी देयर. ओके, I've just used the names without there being any intention behind. It is just to make you people explain. So please don't take it otherwise. Then अगर journalists अगर ये कहते हैं, how would you assume that? Imagine a journalist. There are so many journalists who are doing that right now. Imagine a journalist saying, no store is attacked or forced to apologize. NDTV is on a stroll to defame Hindus, and there are journalists who are constantly ranting. तो अगर वो rant आप देखते हैं, तो कोई journalist करता हुआ देखते हैं, तो आप क्या मानेंगे? It's a rant against the opposing viewpoint, which is shown by different channels. So you can see and sense some sort of business rivalry there. You can sense some sort of political ideology-based opposition and contradiction there. So suddenly, now your opinions starts changing. When you talk about again a politician for it remains the same. We all have same thoughts about the politicians majorly. Even if you hear something like this, you would feel that it's a normal day at office for the politicians. Then I have increased. I have again changed the content. I've made it a little longer. It says no stories are Times of India saying this. Now they have gone another mile ahead, and they're again making even more sweeping statements now. So you can say that Times of India is what? It has become kind of a tool for political agenda. They are protecting one political party as it may be getting a lot of advertisement revenue from the political party in news. Journalist, you would suddenly start thinking that the journalist has turned an agent come propaganda mouthpiece for a particular party. It can be any party. Then if a politician is saying that, like I said before, it's a normal day in office, for a politician. So can you just see how the context is changing, how, a politician saying it does not matter to us at all, but a journalist saying it, suddenly makes us, feel neutral about it at some point of time. And as, the content starts changing and the context starts changing, we suddenly have different kind of a perception about the journalist. So this is how I wanted to tell you that how content is important and how the context is also important. Now, let me tell you, this was not taken from any news. It was just a troll page that I saw on Facebook, and it was a comment made by somebody. So just imagine if I had put Times of India, there would have been a time जब आपको लगा होगा शायद Times of India में ये report आई है. When I said a journalist is saying it, then you must have at some point of time thought कि हो सकता है कि किसी journalist ने ये बोला हो. But it was not the case. It was just a random post on Facebook page that I had taken in order to make you people understand the significance of content and the context. So, अब इसमें क्या चलता है? How does it happen on the social media? Based on the nature, political ideology of the page, whether it is leaning towards the right, leaning towards the left, मतलब ये एक particular party को support करते हैं या दूसरी political party को support करते हैं, तो उस content को कौन post कर रहा है, कौन उसको consume कर रहा है, the communication will become different. एक right wing ideology वाला अगर इस statement को किसी right wing के page पे देखता है, तो उसका reaction क्या होगा? This is the moment of ultimate truth. nobody has the guts to speak this kind of truth. You know, you are always telling the truth. And imagine a person with leaning towards a left wing ideology would probably say, it's the epitome of lies, hate, bigotry, and so much more. You people are meant to do that. You people will never change. So just imagine कि post कौन कर रहा है, consume कौन कर रहा है, कहाँ पे consume कर रहा है, and the reactions are too different. So this is the entire relationship between the content and the context. तो आप किसी भी communication के जड़ में जाने के लिए, in order to be able to better understand and consume and make a more enlightened, rather I should say, make a more intelligent consumption, to allow more intelligent consumption of the content, you have to not only look at the content that is in front of you, you have to look at the entire context. I'll tell you what the context is. I've given you an example. I hope कि आपको थोड़ा बहुत ये बात समझ आई होगी कि context से मेरा मतलब क्या है. But I'll be showing it to you in the next slide. So this is how the context changed the way a situation was perceived. तो आप भी अपने daily life में सोच सकते हैं कि किस तरह से आपने ऐसी कोई situation face करी है. You may be getting so many messages, those little family groups, having very intense, political affiliations, not affiliations, but affinities to certain parties and politicians. वो अक्सर good morning के साथ इस तरह के messages भी भेजते हैं. तो आपका opinion क्या होता है? ठीक है? क्या आप उसके context को देखते हैं? क्या आप सिर्फ content को देखते हैं? आप पे उसका क्या reaction होता है? आपके ऊपर उसका क्या impact होता है? आप इस बारे में सोचिएगा. तब तक मैं आपको बताता हूँ कि context क्या है. Context, अब मैंने पहले जो बताया, that was an example. From the example, I am trying to generalize it now. I'm saying background of the source of the emerging piece of information. किससे आ रही है information? Information का source क्या है? क्या information का source कोई research है? क्या information का source WhatsApp University है? क्या information का कोई source ऐसी जगह पे है जहां पे वो इंफॉर्मेशन जहां से इमर्ज हो रही है, जहां से हम परसीव कर रहे हैं कि वो इमर्ज हो रही है, वो वहां से आ ही नहीं रही है. Whether the perceived intent of the source, you also have to, context is also made up of the perceived intent of the source of information. वो इंफॉर्मेशन का जो सोर्स है, जिसके थ्रू, जिससे वो इंफॉर्मेशन आ रही है, उनका परसीव्ड इंटेंशन क्या होगा. परसीव्ड मतलब you will never be able to measure their intention. आप उनके intention को नहीं जान सकते, लेकिन आपको क्या perceive हो रहा है कि उनका intention क्या होगा. That is the most important thing. So that is what context is made up of. The platform over which the information is shared. अगर ये इस तरह की कोई बात अगर newspaper पे आती है, you're bound to have a different kind of trust over the information that is being shared. You're bound to react differently. अब हम सोशल मीडिया पे इतने रैंट्स देखते हैं, इतने मीम्स देखते हैं, इतना ऑफेंसिव कंटेंट देखते हैं, एंड वी डोंट रिएक्ट टू इट बिकॉज वी नो कि ये प्लेटफॉर्म किस चीज के लिए है. बट इमेजिन दैट काइंड ऑफ कंटेंट दैट यू आर गेटिंग कॉन्स्टेंटली from the social media, and if that kind of content you are getting on the mainstream media, then it shocks you. और इसीलिए हम सारे shocked हैं क्योंकि the mainstream media has started doing those kind of things. Sorry to say, but that is why the entire the entire program is being formulated for you, so as to make you a more informed consumer, more active consumer of the content, and also even the person receiving the communication. So the context is not only about from where the communication is coming, but it's also about the person who is receiving it. आपके अपने experiences, आपकी अपनी understanding, आपका अपना जो सोच का और समझ का दायरा है, ठीक है, वो जितना लिमिटेड होगा, वो जितना सीमित होगा, the more difficulty you will be facing, or more the distorted will be the communication when it will be reaching you. With this, I'll move on to the next slide. Just give me a second. Okay, final example from daily life of a media person. Media people, they are always going with their mics, and imagine they are taking bite about some particular issue, and he goes to a girl who has no idea about what a bite is. So the girl says, he goes to the girl and says, "Can I have your bite?" And the girl is like, he seems to be a pervert. He's talking about bite, and he's really limited in his English language. But is this really the case? Now the context is different for both the people. The person who is communicating and the girl who is receiving that communication. It's a very normal term that we use in our daily lives. I'm talking about the people who are working in media or who are working in media academics. So it's a term that we come up with every day. So it's a very normal term for us. So imagine a person saying this to somebody who doesn't understand. So there is bound to be a miscommunication. So that is the reason why I said you need to increase the periphery of your understanding, your context. The broader your understanding is, more likely you are to be able to understand what is being said in the proper way. So this was an example. There are many other examples. I once saw myself. I was there in Connaught Place, and there's this special, pan wala there who gives you all kind of pan. And there was somebody who was making a video on that, a small film on, the life in Connaught Place. And he said to his friend, "Ki mujhe camera pan chahiye." And suddenly the pan wala heard and he said, "Ki ye wala pan hamare yahan nahi milta." So, the context is absolutely different. So the context has to be the same, and you have to work hard, because nobody will come and tell you. Because the more limited your understanding of the context is, the better it is for the people who are there trying to alter your mindset, trying to alter the way you think, and they're very happy with it. Okay, nobody would want a very, enlightened audience, because then they cannot manipulate you, and there's a lot of there are a lot of interests being served because of those manipulations. So it is you ultimately who has to do this. And I think when you're taking this course, you're already on the right track. Now, in the topic itself, it said that I have to talk about satire. I have to talk about hoax and everything. So let's talk about satire. What is satire? It's the use of irony, sarcasm, ridicule, or the like in exposing, denouncing, or deriding vice, folly, etc. I would put it in simpler words. Satire is what? It's use of ये कुछ इस तरह के तरीके से अपनी बात को कहने का एक तरीका होता है, जिसमें आप कहते कुछ हैं, उसका मतलब कुछ और होता है, और आप एक्चुअली या तो किसी कॉज को आगे ले जा रहे होते हैं, या किसी कॉज को जिसको आप मानते हैं कि ये सही नहीं है, आप उसको डिनाउंस कर रहे होते हैं, आप उसकी मुखालफत कर रहे होते हैं, यू आर अगेंस्ट इट. ठीक है, तो यू आर मेकिंग पीपल नो दैट यू आर अगेंस्ट इट, बट what you are saying is absolutely different from what you want to tell the people. तो ये सटायर एक आर्ट है, हर किसी के समझ भी नहीं आती है, बट सटायर कई सारे तरह के होते हैं, एंड यू कम अप विद सटायर एवरी डे. आप अपने फेसबुक वॉल को जब स्क्रॉल करते हैं, व्हेन यू आर गोइंग थ्रू योर फेसबुक वॉल, यू आर कमिंग अक्रॉस दिस काइंड ऑफ कंटेंट एवरी नाउ एंड देन. सो आई विल टॉक अबाउट ईच वन, एक एक करके आई विल टॉक अबाउट ईच वन. Exaggeration. I'm just giving an example. आपने देखा होगा. I mean, I'm sure you people must be knowing about Thanos. You must be knowing about the special ability of Thanos, and also about our Home Minister. आपको ये मैं बता दूं कि this was something that was very popular on certain Facebook pages, especially at the time जब बीजेपी was gaining power in a lot of states. बीजेपी एक तरीके से बहुत was getting a lot of people support, and they were winning all the elections, and उस टाइम पे कई सारे states में, non बीजेपी states में बीजेपी ने अपना through elections they came into power. So at that point of time, people started praising BJP for their ability to just uproot the other political parties from governance, and they started comparing Amit Shah, the main think tank behind the success of BJP. So these were the kind of things that started coming up. So now it can be used by anyone. अब आप अगर इसको देखें कि if there is somebody who follows BJP or who is in line with the ideology of BJP, that person would feel very happy about the power at display for Amit Shah ji. But if there is somebody else who would consume it, that person may be able to see some satire in that. And it is also dependent on कि ये किस page पे दिखाई देता है. If it is a page that is being followed by a lot of BJP supporters, or if it is being followed by a lot of people who are not BJP supporters, so their entire opinion about this post will be different. बट यहाँ पे मैं जो चीज पे फोकस करना चाहता हूँ दैट इज एग्जैजरेशन। सटायर में एग्जैजरेशन एक ऐसा फॉर्म है वेयरइन आप किसी भी चीज को इतना एग्जैजरेट करके बताते हैं कि उसका जो मीनिंग है वो उल्टा हो जाता है। सो यहाँ पे उनकी पावर को इतना एग्जैजरेट करके दिखाया जा रहा है दैट इट इज कन्वेइंग अदरवाइज। अब वो मैंने आपको बताया कि उसमें डिपेंड करता है कि आप कितना समझते हैं, आपका कॉन्टेक्स्ट कितना है, आपके अपने एक्सपीरियंस और आपकी अपनी समझ कितनी है। somebody who is not able to identify Thanos will not be able to understand this particular satire. So this is one form of satire that is constantly used by people of all age groups and all political affinities. Then there is something called as incongruity. It's about the use of metaphor, use of irony, use of juxtapositioning and use of oxymoron. ठीक है, तो ये इसमें हम we are not going to get into that much details, but आपको ये समझना पड़ेगा कि these are the two examples of incongruity where आप क्या करते हैं कि आप दो contrasting thoughts को एक दूसरे के साथ लगाते हैं. There can be an irony that is placed together. There can be two contradicting viewpoints placed together, and there can be a use of metaphor or an oxymoron. तो यहाँ पे हम क्या कर रहे हैं, यहाँ पे हमने अगर हम इसमें देखें तो इसमें आपका juxtaposition नहीं, इसमें आपका irony और oxymoron का इस्तेमाल है. यहाँ पे basically it is about juxtapositioning of two thoughts. तो ये क्या है, ये भी एक satire का एक तरीका है. तो पहला क्या था, पहला था exaggeration, the second is this one. Then reversal. So the third technique of satire is reversal, in which an author or a person who is creating the content subverts an entire situation to present an inversion of how things really are back to the reader. It usually involves a story which presents the opposite of normalcy as we understand it in order to make a satirical viewpoint about it. आपने देखा होगा आपके Facebook walls पे, आपने कभी-कभी देखा होगा कि how would animal react if people were in their world. अगर आज के जो दौर में जो जैसे जानवर हमारे यहाँ हैं, हमारी दुनिया में हम मानते हैं, और वो हम उनके साथ कैसा behave करते हैं, how we behave with them. So how would the situation be if we were in their kingdom and if we were in their world? तो वो कैसे react करेंगे? You must have come across videos भी हैं कुछ इस तरह की कुछ photographs भी हैं that I wanted to show, but I could not really find those in the span of time that I got for preparing this particular lecture. But वो मैं आगे आपसे कभी भी share करूँगा जब भी मुझे मौका मिलेगा. So this is an example of the reversal form of creating the satire. And the fourth is the parody. So it's the art of imitation to ape another author's style. यहाँ पे मैं author का इस्तेमाल कर रहा हूँ क्योंकि ये satire का जो मैंने आपको पूरा 4 forms बताया है, the 4 forms that I have mentioned, these are basically related to more with literature. लेकिन satire की art remains common to all forms of communication and creation of all any kind of content. तो ये यहाँ पे भी लागू होता है. It is applicable even in case of social media content and any other form of media content. So parody क्या है? मैं आपको parody का एक example दिखाना चाहूँगा. It's a small video. It was a long video, and it's by Teen Screen Patti. That there is a popular YouTube channel. But मैंने इसको थोड़ा सा edit करके बहुत छोटा रखा है because एक तो time का constraint था, and also there would have been some content that I was not comfortable sharing on this particular platform. तो आप एक बार इसको देखिए, आपको समझ आएगा what parody means.
Pramod sir, there is no audio नहीं है sir.
So this was an example of parody. आपको ऐसा content बहुत सारा online मिलेगा. तो again आपको content के अलावा उसका context समझना है. There is a lot of content that is available there that may also be brainwashing you, to an extent, तो आपको ये चीज देखनी कि आप इस तरह के कंटेंट को एंजॉय करें, लेकिन आप पे उसका इफेक्ट जो है वो कम से कम. So that should be your objective when consuming these kind of content. Then hoax. You must have heard about this particular news that Rahul Gandhi said कि आप एक तरफ आलू डालेंगे तो दूसरी तरफ से सोना निकलेगा, and it was really difficult to digest for those people who knew कि उन्होंने इसको किस context में बोला था. And there were so many jokes made, there were so many messages that were forwarded. Even the people who knew that उन्होंने ये किस context में बोला था and what he exactly meant, he constantly became butt of the jokes, especially during the times of the elections, so as to bring down the credibility. So hoax क्या होता है? Hoax is to trick people into believing or accepting something as genuine, which is something false and often preposterous. तो ये उसका एक क्लासिक एग्जाम्पल है ऑफ होक्स, और इसको मैं आपको आगे एक बार चला के दिखाऊंगा एग्जैक्टली क्या दिखाया गया और एग्जैक्टली ये था क्या. आप ये देखिए. Okay, so this was what was being propagated on a lot of social media handles, and ये एक तरह से household joke बन गया था in every family group and things like that, and people started creating a lot of opinions on the basis of this kind of clipping that was being forwarded in every group. But exactly what he meant to say, आप यहाँ देखिए. हो सकता है ये भी पूरी वीडियो ना हो, उसके लिए आपको उसका पूरा वीडियो देखना पड़ेगा. दैट इज इससे भी ज्यादा ड्यूरेशन का है. प्लीज सी दिस एंड यू विल बेटर अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट एग्जैक्टली मेंट टू से.
प्रमोद सर, वी कांट हियर द ऑडियो.
पिछले वाले का सुना था सर आपने?
नहीं, उसका भी ऑडियो नहीं आया था, तो स्क्रीन शेयरिंग ऑप्शन में जाके वो ऑडियो ऑन कर लीजिएगा.
मैं अभी करता हूं. ओके सर. ऑडियो सर ये कहां पे होगा, आप मुझे बता सकते हैं थोड़ा?
वो स्क्रीन शेयरिंग ऑप्शन जो है उसके एकदम नीचे देखिएगा, एक चेक करने के लिए आएगा, शेयर ऑडियो.
पिछले वाले में सुनाई दिया था सर?
नहीं, वो भी नहीं सुनाई दिया था.
अच्छा ठीक है. सर एक बार देखने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ, मुझे आप थोड़ा सा गाइड कर दीजिए ये एग्जैक्टली किस वाले पे आएगा. मेरी स्क्रीन शेयर
जैसे आप स्क्रीन शेयर में जाएंगे, यू विल एक्चुअली हैव टू कम आउट ऑफ इट.
अच्छा ठीक है सर.
एंड देन गो टू स्क्रीन शेयर ऑप्शन.
ओके.
एंड देन शेयर द ऐप. And then just underneath left hand bottom corner,
yes, you
will find that audio, share audio. Okay. So you need to check it.
Okay. ठीक है. मैं आपको पैरोडी के बारे में बता रहा था उस समय, and I got to know that you were not able to hear it. So I was giving you an example of what parody is like. Please.
रोल नंबर 1 3 5.
सर आपने रोल नंबर 2 और 4 तो बोला ही नहीं. हम भी तो प्रेजेंट हैं.
बेटा आज ऑड रोल नंबर की क्लासेस हैं. इवन की तो कल है. तुम्हारा इवन है, कल है तुम्हारी क्लास. बाहर जाओ. ये मोदी जी की क्लास नहीं है, ये केजरीवाल की क्लास है. बाहर जाइए. आउट. तुम भी इवन नंबर हो. आउट. और कोई तो नहीं है इवन नंबर. क्या रोल नंबर है तुम्हारा?
Okay, so that was an example of parody. You come across this kind of content so often. Then I was talking about hoax. I've already mentioned the background. Now I'll be showing you this video. This is the video that was shared a lot. And the other video is what he actually meant. So please listen to this now.
ऐसी मशीन लगाऊंगा, इस साइड से आलू घुसेगा, उस साइड से सोएगा, इस साइड से आलू डालो, उस साइड से सोना निकालो, इतना पैसा बनेगा आपको पता नहीं होगा क्या करना है पैसे का.
ठीक है, so this was something that was shared by a lot of people. और ये क्या है कि पूरे कम्युनिकेशन को एडिट कर दिया गया, पूरे स्टेटमेंट को एडिट कर दिया गया to cut the entire context and then placing it in a different context in order to probably defame him, in order to bring down the credibility of a politician like Rahul Gandhi. And this was the exact video.
आदिवासियों को कहा 40,000 करोड़ रुपए दूंगा, 1 रुपया नहीं दिया. कुछ महीने पहले यहां बाढ़ आई, 500 करोड़ रुपए दूंगा, 1 रुपया नहीं दिया. आलू के किसानों को कहा ऐसी मशीन लगाऊंगा, इस साइड से आलू घुसेगा, उस साइड से सोना निकलेगा. इस साइड से आलू डालो, उस साइड से सोना निकालो, इतना पैसा बनेगा आपको पता नहीं होगा क्या करना है पैसे का. मेरे शब्द नहीं है, नरेंद्र मोदी जी के शब्द हैं. 15 लाख रुपए हर बैंक अकाउंट में, और अब बैंक अकाउंट खोलने के लिए 3,000 रुपए दो. यह है सच्चाई नरेंद्र मोदी जी की, बीजेपी की.
Okay, I hope you were able to understand the difference कि कैसे पूरे communication को edit करके a different context was created. So this is why context is important. The content is right there in front of you, but as I said, content alone cannot do much if there is no context, and you will really be a victim of information if you do not understand the context behind. I'm constantly saying it. It may be sounding a lot irritating, but then that is the point that I want to make, and that is something that I want to re-emphasize. So then there is something that we call as partisan reporting. It's strong and unusually unfair support for one particular person, group, or idea. It may also be known as biased media reporting. Yes, we all have witnessed an upsurge in this kind of partisan reporting, especially during the times of Corona. There were so many things that were floated, so many things being said about so many people. And we have witnessed partisan reporting. It's getting exposed actually. A lot of people who till now probably were not aware of how this biased reporting, this biased media functioning exists. Now even they realize that this is a major problem, and this is not me who's saying it. There are a lot of studies that are claiming it. So people have increased, the media consumption. The media consumption has increased, but the faith in media is going down. Maybe because now they are having a better understanding of how they have to consume media. So maybe they are enjoying whatever is being told without actually believing in what is being told, which is a good sign. So more examples of partisan reporting. Can you just see? It was a time, when Tablighi Jamaat, some people from Tablighi Jamaat, they were found now the way they have, influenced us. I'm not coming up with the right kind of word. They were in a shelter in Tablighi Jamaat. There were some people, and look at the kind of reporting. You would see terms like terror kundli. You are able to see things like mastermind. You are able to see, sweeping statements like that. Will Jamaat be able to take India to the stage 3? In the Corona pandemic? Just look at these words. Mastermind. Have you ever come across the use of this term for the people of your own country, or you've seen it for people who are actually not a threat to not just this country, but they are a threat to the entire mankind? So just look at the kind of the words that have been used. Look at the kind of expression. Look at the kind of context that is being created for people to consume this kind of content. So imagine, when you're constantly see these kind of text plates constantly hitting you, and then somebody saying something. So it is partisan reporting that is having some sort of an influence on the way you think. It is really making us a victim of the pandemic that is related to information. Now just see this, and this was a similar thing that happened in Ayodhya, where around 170 to 180 people gathered for the Bhumi Pujan of the Ram Mandir. So just look at the headlines in this case and look at the headline in the second case, and you would understand that when I'm talking about partisan reporting, when I'm talking about the biased reporting, so it is biased in favor of whom and it is biased against whom. So you can see that, and you really need to be very careful when you're consuming this kind of an information. You can just watch it for entertainment, but if you really want something beyond that, then you really need to up your antennas in order to be able to comprehend this content with more caution. Now, conspiracy theories in social media. Well, conspiracy theories and social media, conspiracy theories have never actually been absent before the rise of the social media. It was always there. If you look at John F. Kennedy, his assassination, there have been a lot of rumors around that. You would be surprised to know that in America, till 97, I was shocked to read that that around 70 to 80 people believed कि वहाँ पे aliens आए, because there was some news related to some debris found somewhere, and people started believing there were some conspiracy theories that were constantly pushed कि aliens यहाँ पे आए. And till 97, imagine 97 is not like very far behind. It's not very long back ago that people, about 70 to 80% people there believed कि वहाँ पे aliens ने visit किया. Just imagine. So conspiracy theories बहुत सारी हैं. There are so many conspiracy theories related to our heroes like Lal Bahadur Shastri ji, Subhash Chandra Bose ji, regarding their death and how they died. So there are so many conspiracy theories. I have taken into account the latest one that you all have been living with in recent past. That is Sushant Singh Rajput's death. So, not just the people who've been creating these stories, but also the media is responsible for a lot of, reporting that they have done just on the basis of a statement given by somebody. So I'm just, there's this complete article that I can probably share by the end of the lecture with you. But there have been conspiracy theories like कि Sushant Singh Rajput की आंखों में जो last impression था, वो किसका था, इसका पता लगाने की कोशिश में कई आंखों के डॉक्टर लगे हैं, और जो उसकी हत्या के लिए जिम्मेदार है उसका पता लग जाएगा. Imagine this being said by some doctor on media. This was taken up by a particular channel, और उन्होंने उसके ऊपर अपना प्रोग्राम चलाया where they claim कि आंखों में आखिरी बार देखे गए आदमी का इंप्रेशन होता है, और उस इंप्रेशन के बेसिस पे वो अब जो है इन्वेस्टिगेटिंग एजेंसीज उसके हत्यारे को पकड़ेंगी. So imagine these kind of conspiracy theories. There is another conspiracy theory where it said कि सुशांत सिंह राजपूत ने जो अपना सुसाइड, जो उन्होंने सुसाइड किया, उसको उन्होंने रिकॉर्ड किया, and he sold it on the dark web in exchange of some bitcoins. तो ये इस तरह की conspiracy theories हैं जिसको आप सुनते हैं और आप कोई ओपिनियन बनाते हैं. इनकी कोई वेटेज नहीं होती, क्योंकि आप इनमें से कई सारी कॉन्स्पिरेसी थ्योरीज जो मीडिया ने भी रन करी, जब आप इसको देखेंगे, when you will go after some point of time to verify it, to cross check it, you will probably see those removed from the servers of those news channels and news websites. तो ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है? पहले दिखाया गया, फिर हटाया गया. तो पहले आपको इन्फ्लुएंस किया गया, पहले बहुत सारे फैक्टर्स की वजह से आपके अटेंशन को खींचा गया, और फिर उसको हटा दिया गया. So imagine, what are we left to? What have we become? Nothing but the pawns, और जिसका वो इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं for their own purpose. So conspiracy theories in media का ये एक example है that I wanted to share with you. Now, what are the challenges with satire? अब satire के साथ एक बड़ा problem ये है कि satire सबके समझ नहीं आता. It's not easily understood by all. you really need to be smart to be able to understand the satire. लेकिन उस satire को समझने के लिए context का समझना जरूरी है. कौन बोल रहा है? कौन बोल रहा है? That is very important. तो आप समझ जाएंगे कि जिसने बोला है उसने कुछ अलग बात कही है, but वो intent क्या कर रहा है. So this coming from various different sources, you should be very well versed with that. So satire is taken as truth in the fake news era, where news channels are trying to convey that their news is authentic. अब ये fake news के era में जिसमें हम जी रहे हैं, the era of fake news where we are living, the biggest challenge is to convince the people that we are telling the truth. तो ये बिल्कुल situation बदल गई है. The situation has changed drastically. Now आप अगर satire करेंगे तो पता लगा कि आपको किसी ने पकड़ लिया ये कहते हुए कि आपने factual reporting नहीं करी, आप पे कोई केस हो जाएगा. I can give you an example. In USA, there is this popular website called onions.com or something that is very popular for their satirical content. तो ये satirical content को जब उन्होंने अपने president के लिए कुछ satire उन्होंने लिखा, उस पे किसी ने लिखा, तो उनके ऊपर केस कर दिया गया, citing कि आप जो जिस तरह का content आप दे रहे हैं, ये content factually incorrect है. But हमने तो बात करी है कि satire में exaggeration होता है, satire में हमने बहुत सारी चीजों की बात करी है. तो बाद में पता लगा कि that website was popular for its satirical content. तो satire के साथ सबसे बड़ी problem ये है. There have been a lot of websites that have been providing us with a lot of this kind of content. लेकिन उसके access, उसके understanding, उस content के comprehension को लेके बहुत सारे challenges हैं. Also, satire is not taken well by people in authority, and there have been instances where legal actions have been taken against the creator of the content. I should have written, I'm sorry about it. तो content के creator के against कई बार cases हुए हैं, क्योंकि satire को बहुत अच्छे से political, जो बड़े political names हैं, political figures हैं, they have not been very kind to this kind of content. And कभी-कभी satire really crosses the line. So that is also a reality. But who is anyone to decide कि क्या cross हो रही है line? तो exactly उस पे बात करना is a little difficult, but it does really cross the line at times. Personally, that is something that I believe. And satire is not being understood. Like I said, satire does not come easily to all. Understanding satire does not come easily to all. Then challenges with hoax and partisan reporting. Lack of critical thinking ability makes one susceptible to such lies and hoax. आपने critical thinking की जो last class आपको यशस्विता मैम ने दी थी, she did tell you, because I've used her PowerPoint template. It was a beautifully made presentation where she talked about critical thinking, gave you a lot of tools to be able to make a more informed consumption of the information. So critical thinking ability जो है वो आपको इस तरह के lies और इस hoax में एक तरह से push कर देती है. And hoax and partisan reporting deprives one of fair decision making at all points in life. और खासकर जो ज़्यादा vulnerable होते हैं, तो क्या होता है कि इस तरह की reporting, इस तरह का content consumption जो है लगातार it plays with the way you think. It really alters the way you think. A lot of people who are very learned, very enlightened, they are also likely to fall into this trap. So just imagine the people who are not very well aware of how media functions, so they are more vulnerable. So ऐसे जो लोग होते हैं वो इस तरह के content की वजह से पूरी जिंदगी deprived रहते हैं of making a fair decision in their life. And it's used for the agenda setting by both media as well as political parties and the politicians. तो उस केस में hoax और partisan reporting जो है it's likely to hit you more and more adversely, क्योंकि अब आपको नहीं पता कि ये जो partisan reporting हो रही है, that this partisan reporting that is happening, it is happening from whose side, whether it is from the media, whether it is the political party, whether both have joined hands, and if both have joined hands, then only you can save yourself, nobody else. Final comments that I would want to make. So acquire as much knowledge as possible so as to have a better base of understanding the context. The clearer you are about the context, the more you can enjoy the content. It will also help you in deciding what to consume and what to avoid. And whenever you come across any content, especially from unknown source or on social media or any other platform, question the context. Be inquisitive about it. The better you will be at the above mentioned things, the better it will be for you. Let me just give you a final example. Aajkal, I'm not seeing any new, meme or joke or parody on Arvind Kejriwal or Rahul Gandhi because there is no election जो अभी हाल में होने वाले हैं. जब दिल्ली के इलेक्शन आएंगे, suddenly you will start seeing those videos being circulated where somebody went and slapped Arvind Kejriwal. तो वो बहुत ज़्यादा पॉपुलर हो जाता है. तो टाइम भी अपने आप में कॉन्टेक्स्ट प्रोवाइड कर रहा है आपको. तो आपको इन सब चीजों को चैलेंज करना है, इन सब चीजों को देखना है, इन सब चीजों को ध्यान में रखना है. शुरुआत में आपको इन सारी चीजों को ध्यान में रखने में आपको एफर्ट लगाने पड़ेंगे, लेकिन समय के साथ जब ये आपकी आदत बन जाएगा तो आप किसी भी मीडिया कंटेंट को बहुत ही कॉन्शियसली, बहुत ही अच्छे से कंज्यूम करेंगे और वो कंटेंट आपको हार्म नहीं करेगा, जब बल्कि आप ये डिसाइड करेंगे whether you really want to consume that content or whether you want to simply avoid it. So these were my final comments. I hope I was able to add something to whatever you have learned so far from all those learned people जिन्होंने अभी तक आपको बहुत सारे classes media literacy पर दी हैं. I hope that I was able to add on to your existing knowledge. With that, I would like to say thank you very much.
Okay, sir, we have two questions. There's one question by Shashwat Gupta, where he says, can sometimes people mistake satire as being offensive?
हाँ, होता है. मैंने तो ये लिखा ही है कि सटायर ऑफेंसिव होता है, तो इसीलिए तो कार्टून्स के ऊपर चीफ मिनिस्टर्स जो हैं वो जेल में डाल देते हैं. असीम त्रिवेदी का केस यहाँ पे मौजूद है, जहाँ पे असीम त्रिवेदी को एक अपने कार्टून के लिए जेल में डाल दिया गया. देयर इज अ केस इन वेस्ट बंगाल वेयर देयर वाज दिस प्रोफेसर जिनके कुछ कंटेंट को ऑफेंसिव लेते हुए, अभी ऑफेंसिव है या नहीं है ये कौन तय करेगा, ये सबसे बड़ा सवाल है. अब ये तय करना ये सबसे मुश्किल चीज है. तो यही मैंने कहा कि यही सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज है. अब इसके लिए अगर कोई सॉल्यूशन प्रोवाइड करे तो that is the best thing that can happen.
Amrish sir, would you like to add to this?
Yeah, I mean, this is a very, very, very complex area. What is offensive, what is not, and what should be allowed to publish, whatever is allowed to circulate or not. Because if we look into from the Indian Constitution point of view or the legal point of view, we have this freedom of speech and expression, Article 19(1)(a), which allows us all kind of freedom. But then there is one very, very complex area wherein the national security, integrity, all these questions come into the fore, and all this is covered under Article 19(2), wherein the freedom is restricted, the freedom which is guaranteed under Article 19(1)(a). And then comes the question of sedition, which is part of the criminal law IPC 124A. Now the problem is if I'm expressing something, and even if I'm within my domain, and even if I'm simply enjoying the freedom that is guaranteed under the Constitution, Article 19(1)(a), but if the government agencies, they interpret it as something which is harming the interest of the country, then I can very well be arrested for that. So, and the question is the criticism which is allowed under Article 19(1)(a), whether that criticism is allowed of the government department, government agencies, every institution is covered. But something against the country is not covered. Now, how to decide whether my expression is against the ruling political party, is against the government, or is against the country? So normally we are confusing in law also whether an expression is against the prime minister, against the government, or against the nation. Like if you can look into the case of the Shashi Tharoor. He spoke in the Lahore Literature Festival only 3 days back. So he said certain things which BJP said is against the country, and a case was slapped on him under sedition. whereas he had said something about this Tablighi Jamaat, and whatever he said, that was in fact part of the judgment of the Bombay High Court on this, wherein the High Court has said that, false cases were registered which had no legal ground, and then they should be allowed to go to their respective countries, the foreigners who had come to India to attend the Tablighi Jamaat and all. But then a political party and its leaders, they held Shashi Tharoor responsible for sedition. Now, there is another part to this. If this happens, like something was said by Shashi Tharoor. Now, if a case was registered against him under 124A fine, but suppose if a case is registered against him under defamation law, and if a newspaper or a news channel covers that news report wherein the statement of the Shashi Tharoor is included, now anybody can bring a defamation suit against that newspaper and news channel also, not only against Shashi Tharoor. So there are such complex areas, and the only answer to this is that in a democratic setup, we all means all individuals, all people representing any institution, all people who are part of the government, the people who are working in the government agencies, everybody must know to keep restraint. Restraint is the buzzword in democracy. No, anything can be interpreted in multiple ways, even legally, even legally. And finally, the law will decide, that the court of law will decide who is right, who is wrong. That will take 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. So in this kind of judicial system, the only thing that we must always keep in mind, we must keep restraint in our utterances, in our statements, in our expression. And if somebody is saying one thing, the other person should show restraint instead of coming out with a sword and killing that person. So if that happens, that's basically the spirit of the democracy. But unfortunately, in our country, even after 70 years, we are not that much democratic. Whatever we say, but at our heart, we all are not democratic. That is how we are not ready to listen to anything which is said about us. So that is basically the bone of contention. So, but then deliberate things should not happen. I mean, in this course, the basic thing is even if we can commit some mistakes, which is completely inadvertently, which is basically not a deliberate act, that can be accepted. But because of our own, settling scores with somebody, to denouncing somebody, to show somebody in bad light, to damage somebody, to do the character assassination of somebody, we should not be involved in any such thing, any such material in any form. So that is, if in this course we talk about media literacy, that's the main thing. We should be very, very cautious. We should be very, very alert not to get ourselves involved in any such act which is harming that person individually, or which is harming the society. So if we learn that, then obviously the whole purpose of organizing this course is served.
Yes, sir. I see. It seems as if satire is the buzzword today. So there's one more question. This is by Shreya Rohtagi. Pramod sir, she's asking, is criticism usually the motive behind satire?
मैंने वही बताया, अब आपने मेरे से पूछा, and there is no context behind. तो मैं exactly नहीं कह सकता कि क्या उसका purpose criticism है. अब वो आपको देखना पड़ेगा कौन कर रहा है, आपको उसकी हिस्ट्री में जाना पड़ेगा, क्या उसकी हिस्ट्री क्रिटिसिज्म, कंस्ट्रक्टिव क्रिटिसिज्म की है या नहीं है, या वो दूसरे की क्रेडिबिलिटी को नीचे खींच के लाने का काम हमेशा करता रहा है. तो अगर आप उससे आ रहा है तो आप ये परसीव करेंगे उस टाइम पे कि ये सटायर जो है ये क्रिटिसिज्म नहीं है, ये एक तरीके से उसको डिनाउंस करने की और उसकी क्रेडिबिलिटी पे क्वेश्चन मार्क डालने की एक अगली कोशिश है.
So there's one more question where by Avnish. He's saying that can we say motive of content changes with the person who is presenting the information?
Can they what?
Can we say motive of content changes with the person who is presenting the information?
जाहिर सी बात है, it will always change with the change in the person who's doing that, and because no two people are same. हो सकता है there is a lot of overlapping in two people जो एक जैसे political ideology रखते हैं, but there will be slight difference and that is very human. तो वो हमेशा अलग होगा, इसलिए तो बोला गया है कि context में उस आदमी की भी जांच पड़ताल करिए.
Okay. Amrish sir, would you like to add further to it?
I'm in agreement with that.
Okay. All right. So we've had by far. Okay, there's one more question. So can a reversal be counted as an exaggeration to normalcy?
अब ये बड़ा negative positive वाला हो गया. Exactly. I'll have to go and see the presentation. Reversal be counted as an exaggeration? Yes, definitely. ये हो सकता है. Exaggeration बहुत ही direct है. It's like plus. But अगर आप reversal की बात कर रहे हैं तो आपने क्या किया? Negative से आपने plus create करने की कोशिश करी. So ultimately the point you're trying to make is the same. Ultimately आप क्या कर रहे हैं? आप किसी गलत चीज को गलत कहने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, किसी सही चीज को और आगे बढ़ाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. कहने का तरीका अलग है, but at the end what you are trying to portray is the normalcy. है ना? Exaggeration में भी वही कर रहे हैं और reversal में भी हम वही कर रहे हैं. It's just a way of putting it.
We've had by far the most questions today. So Dr. Asha Singh, I would please, your comments, please.
Sorry, I joined a little late, but whatever I heard, it was a really important presentation. और मुझे लगता है कि काफी साहसी उदाहरण दिए हैं प्रमोद कुमार ने. यूजुअली मीडिया लिटरेसी हमें साहसी होने का एक प्रकार से साहसी होने की हिम्मत देता है और सच कहने की हिम्मत देता है. हालांकि मैं प्रोफेसर सक्सेना से भी सहमत हूं कि यहाँ साहस और सुरक्षा दोनों की बात होनी चाहिए. हम खुद को कैसे सुरक्षित रखें, ये भी एक हमारा मकसद होना चाहिए. और मीडिया साक्षरता अभियान में हम जुड़े हैं तो हम साहसिक तो हैं ही. तो मुझे लगता है कि एक सामंजस्य बनाकर रखा जाए दोनों पक्षों के बीच में तो उचित रहेगा. थैंक यू.
Okay, Amrish sir, would you like to say something?
No, I think we all have a lot of good things we have been hearing by Pramod, and so we should better try to absorb that so that everything is sinking, whatever good things have been talked about.
Yes,
so we can come to the end of the session.
Yes, sir. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Pramod Kumar Pandey, for this insightful session. Today, we learned about how the different kinds of content and context influence our viewpoint. The buzzword today was intention. What is the intention behind the message is what matters. We learned about different content like satire, hoax, errors in reporting, partisan reporting, and conspiracy theory on social media. I would also like to inform all our students that after the culmination of this event, we will be evaluating you based on the learnings during this course. Post your evaluation, you will be receiving your certificates as informed yesterday. Also, we will be organizing valedictory, wherein we will award the student who has attended most lectures and has been actively engaged in the event and by asking questions, and asking questions is important and rewarding. I would like to thank Dr. Asha for her constant contribution in the coordination for this course, Professor Ujjwal Chaudhary and Dr. Amrish Saxena for their constant guidance. Tomorrow, we will be learning about how to find credible information online and how social media influences our perspective. Since you are digital natives and spend considerable time on social media, it is very important to attend this session. The session will be moderated by Mr. Sayak Pal, Assistant Professor, School of Media, Communication and Fashion, Adamas University. Request you to please come prepared with questions, as it is important to question while learning about media literacy. Thank you. See you tomorrow.